new curriculum, and then the tests, and then the questions, and some of them I'm like, is that the right answer? Is that not? And then suddenly, the lights started to flicker. I've been enjoying my peppermint mocha because it's the holidays, right? I can count by fours. I did this last year in my class, and they loved it. Good morning, everyone. My name's Kitty. I'm a fifth year teacher teaching third grade this year in the state of Florida, and I'm so glad you're here for a week in my life. All right, I'm gonna walk and talk at the same time because I've got stuff to set up. Today is Halloween, and I am not exactly thrilled for it to be Halloween in the classroom, but it is what it is. Students are allowed to wear costumes today, so that'll be fun. Here's my costume. We are wearing all black, and then we're gonna be Scrabble tiles. So I'll show you like what it looks like once I tie my tile around myself in a little bit. But all of the third grade teachers are gonna spell the word strong, but we're not telling the students what we're spelling until like the end of the day when we go to recess. They can like put it all together. So I have a very busy day planned. I'm not gonna walk you through every single part of my day though, because let me swap hands so I can log into my computer. I kind of already did that at the end of my last vlog. So if you're interested in like exactly what we're doing for Halloween, you can go check out my last vlog, which was just a day in my life, and I'll link it above in the cards, and you can kind of see exactly what we're doing today. But things that I have to get done this morning before we start our day. First, I'm getting my board like all booted up and ready to go. Second, I need to put out papers on my students' desks for their like warm-up stuff. I've got a bingo board, Halloween themed bingo board that I want them to color, so we have it for the afternoon for our fall party. And then I also have the What Should Your Teacher Be for Halloween freebie from Miss Munch's Bunch. I can't remember her Instagram name. I'll drop it below, but it's a great one and I use it every year. So I have those two things that I need to set out on their desks, and then I also need to clean up stem bins from over here, because on theme days like today, or when we did Pirate Day, or when we had our Booster-thon day or Rock Your School Day, I put the stem bins away and we don't do those in the morning because it's just too much. And since kiddos are coming in costumes this morning, they're already gonna be like super hype. The stem bins, they're like relaxing and they kind of like chill while they do them for the most part, but sometimes they can be a little bit, it can just add some extra chaos to the morning sometimes. On like a theme day. On a normal day when we're in routine, it's easy. They come in, they get their stem bin. But I'm putting those things on their desk for morning work instead. Let me show you how cute this slide is that I made for like our morning routine slide. Okay, here it is. All right, there's our morning routine slide. I love it. It's all Halloween theme. All right, now that I've got that all taken care of, I'm gonna start to put stem bins away and put things on papers on desks. Yeah. All right, y'all, I am sitting on the floor at home. I am now in shorts and a t-shirt, super comfy because I am over today. And here's what happened. About 5 minutes before we started letting students in, AC in my room cuts off. And I was like, that's weird. Usually the air conditioning stays on. We get an email from our maintenance people and they were like, hey, don't mind the AC problems. The district knows, they're sending somebody. And I was like, great, this isn't just, oh, the air went out. It's like an AC problem. So that was number one. And then kids came in, they started working on their What Should Miss Allen Be for Halloween. And honestly, like I had a couple of them that turned out good, and then I had a lot that didn't. So hindsight, I probably shouldn't do that as just like morning work. I should probably use it as like an actual activity and like give them a little more guidance. I thought third graders would be able to do it more morning work style. They weren't, but we were working on it anyways. I think they were very excited too, and I had like spooky music going. And then we did the announcements, we did our whatever, and we were starting our math mystery, and then suddenly the lights started to flicker, and then they went out, and we lost power, and we lost internet. So my students enjoyed doing the math mystery in partners around the room in the dark because we didn't have any power. And then they went to specials and we still didn't have any power like the rest of the day. So we were able to do we finished the math mystery. I read Room on the Broom and The Good, the Bad, the Spooky as a read aloud while we ate snack. And then we did Halloween nouns with my Noun Town poster, which I shared these plans in my last vlog. So you can go look at that if you would like to. I know I linked it earlier. Because I'm not going to go through all the plans in detail because the day's over and I'm home. And anyways, so we did that. And then we did the Halloween poem. And I wish I could have done more with that. I wish I had like hindsight gone through the poem like all last week. And then they would have been more ready for the crossword. Some of mine did really well with the crossword. Some of them not so much. But it's fine. And then we did the Halloween symmetry, and then they went to lunch, the playground, and then I had parents that brought in popcorn, Sunny D, and Jello, and pudding, and we just played bingo and had that snack. And then I turned on, by that time my internet was working. When I left the school, I still had no AC, no power, except for to my board in the front and to my computer. So at least I had internet, and I was able to throw on Scooby-Doo. And we had like 3 classes in there for dismissal because some computers were working, some weren't, and so to use our dismissal app, it was like nuts. What are the odds that the lights would be flickering, the lights would go out, the power would go out, the AC would go out, all on Halloween? So I was able to change my calendar to November and hang up my turkey. I didn't film it because I was just doing it while I was waiting for kids to be picked up. And then I was able to put like all my copies away and kind of tidy my room up so it looked nice and neat. In the morning, I got to go in really early because I've got to go to the copier, and I checked it this afternoon and it was taken. So, and I asked, and I was like, hey, are you going to be a while? And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay. So I'm going to go in the morning because I got a lot of copies to make. That was the only thing left on my to-do list today, was to make copies. Everything else I was able to do. So that's the plan with that. I'm home now because I was tired and I wanted to come home, and it was hot and I didn't want to sit in my hot room anymore. And so now I'm changed into comfy clothes. We're having friends from church over for Halloween tonight just to play games and eat dinner and stuff. So I'm gonna go start. I'm making white chicken chili, so I've got to get started on that and get cleaning the house. And yeah, happy Halloween, y'all. Here's hoping that tomorrow is not as cuckoo. Hi, hello, happy Tuesday. I am just jumping on in today's vlog. I had to get here super early this morning and rush to the copying machine, and the one in the office wasn't working, and so then I had to go to the media center, and that one took longer. David's over here in my room setting up some desks for me, so if you hear noise in the background, that's what that is. So it took me a long time to get my copies ready, and then I had morning duty today, so I was like running around this morning like a chicken with its head cut off trying to get copies done for the morning. Good news, math went so well this morning. We started chapter 4, the kids were mellow, AR went well, we talked about library expectations and how we're working to earn our independent trips to the library back next week, which I talked about in my last vlog, and they did so good during AR. It was like they were reading, they were working, fantastic. I got to go up to the big copier during my planning and make the rest of my copies because the copier was working, so that was a win, so it's productive. Then we hit language arts and we took our test, and they did really, like, they did the best that they could, I think they did. And the test, just new curriculum, and then the test, and then the questions, and some of them I'm like, is that the right answer? Is that not? These were tricky. it was harder than what we did in like our unit this week. So after some reflecting with my fellow teachers, we've omitted some questions. We're going to redo some questions tomorrow before we do writing, etc. How awesome is this guy right here? Moving these desks for me. He's sweating it out because these are some heavy desks. So I'm rearranging the entire seating chart. My hand's getting tired, so I'm gonna like lean it up against my computer right here. The whole seating chart is being rearranged. I've been grading like a mad woman all afternoon, and I'm ready to go home just about, cleaning up stuff, getting these desks arranged. Then I'm heading home. Today was T-shirt Tuesday, so I'm wearing my high-waisted jeans, some sandals, and a pumpkin shirt because today is the first day of November. So that was exciting. We got to change the calendar and look at the November things. And I think I showed you this morning that I changed the background on the computer, all that jazz. So that was a blast. That's it for the Tuesday update. I'll be back tomorrow with more happenings in third grade. Good morning. Today is Wednesday. I'm here bright and early, or dark and early, I should say, as usual, to get a couple of things done in my classroom. Thought I'd fill you in on like what we're doing in the morning, and then I'll jump on in the afternoon and give you an update. I have to go make a copy because after some soul searching and reflecting on those assessments like I talked about yesterday, we're going to retake one of them, our cold read assessment, which is like I use it as a quiz grade, but it's like an independent they do on their own, just on a cold read passage with comprehension questions. We're going to redo it together today and talk about some strategies for the text, which we do anyways with a different cold read passage like during our day 5 of language arts, but this one just didn't go so hot. So we're going to read it, talk about strategies to remember what each paragraph says, stuff like that. So I'm going to reteach and do some strategies for informational texts because I need to. And then re-enter those grades, even though it'll be something we did together. I don't feel like it's fair to put something in there that they all bombed. We kind of need to like go back, regroup. And I say all of them, not all of them did. Some of them did really well on it, but they'll be strong helpers as we go over it again. So I'm going to make a copy of that first. Then we're going to start off with math today. And in our math chapter 4, you saw yesterday I changed out the essential question. It is just multiplication again, and like yesterday's lesson was multiplying by 2 and 4, so it was kind of like highlighting, oh, when you multiply by 2s, it's the same thing as your doubles facts. So, and then if you multiply by 4s, it's the same thing as doing your doubles facts times 2, like twice. So it's kind of showing them strategies, but also giving them more time to grapple with some of the facts and to practice them, to see them, and to memorize them. So I'm going to get that set up. I think today we're doing times 5, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna have to look at my lesson plans, but I also bought a little skip counting song pack on TPT. I will link the product below. I'm really excited, and I can't remember who it's by, but it's somebody on Instagram and TikTok, so if I remember that, I will also link her Instagram here so you can see that too. But she does like skip counting songs to popular songs. So today we're gonna do counting by 4s, which is to the tune of Havana. So it's like, I can count by 4. So I've got the poster up there so I can like read it, but we're gonna like practice it this morning after we grade our homework, and we'll keep like practicing that skip counting by 4 song, and then eventually we'll add another one. I think we'll probably have to jump in and add 6s and 7s, probably 8s and then 9s, because I think they can do 2s and 5s already, but she has songs for those, so I'll link that product. That's all I got, and then we're gonna hit the afternoon, so I'll hit you with that in the afternoon, and I'm gonna go make my copies. All right, I also wanted to show my outfit for today. These are linen pants that I've worn before from Old Navy. You can kind of see that I'm wearing biker shorts underneath, but it's fine. And then this t-shirt is from Old Navy. It's just a short sleeve tee. I tucked it in because it is going to be warm, like 80 degrees this afternoon. But right now it's chilly. It's like 60. So I have my Old Navy denim jacket paired with it. And then these little like slight heel mules are from Target. And I've got my lanyard, my Ana Luisa jewelry that I wear every day. I need to clean this mirror. And like this is what the outfit looks like all together. I thought it was really cute in fall, and it's cute without the jacket too. and it's very, very comfortable. Also, one more thing that I forgot to mention yesterday is I sent home a turkey feather with each student. I did this last year in my class and they loved it. So I sent home a feather with each student to decorate at home and to bring into the classroom to put on our classroom turkey that's just hanging out here on the wall. And so I was very proud of myself for getting that together to go home on November 1st. And I told them to bring it by the 10th, which is next Thursday, because we have Friday off next week for Veterans Day. I was like, if you bring it after, that's fine. It just doesn't get to stay on the turkey as long. Said, so if you bring it by the 10th, it gets to stay up on the turkey for a long time. So try to bring it in by then or bring it in before if you can. So that's gonna be really fun to see our turkey grow. All right, I just got home. Vlogging at the end of the day in my classroom is tough. So sometimes I don't give the update until I get home, and that's okay. So I'm gonna set my phone down right here. Okay, there we go. So things that we did earlier today after math. Okay, first off, math went really well. My students love the skip counting song. I'm prepared now to sing it for you. We listened to Havana, the Kids Bop version, of course, and then we practiced skip counting it, and I'm prepared to sing it now. I wasn't prepared this morning, but it's, I can count by fours. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, boom, boom. 28, 32, 36, and 40. Now you can count by fours with me. And they really liked it. And I've got the poster to go with it. Again, I've already linked the product in the description. But they did the hand signs too, because the girl who made it and posted the TikTok videos has them do the hand signs. So they're practicing their facts. So it's like 4, 8, 12, 16, because 4 times 4 is 16, 20, 24, boom, 28, 32, 36, and 40. Now you can count your fours with me. So they really love that. Language arts, we did the cold read from yesterday and we really slowed it down. Read the text once, put a smiley face at the top as a class, and then we broke down each paragraph. So we read a paragraph, drew a sketch next to it to help us remember what we read. Read a paragraph, drew a sketch, paragraph, sketch. Then we answered the questions. And at the end I was like, hey, was that easier than when you took it yesterday? And they said yes. So I'm gonna continue to do one scaffolded and then one on their own as a quiz grade, and we'll see if that helps with assessments. We started our how-to writing. I used washi tape to make tabs in their writer's notebooks, and they really loved that. All we did was introduce it and then brainstorm things that we were experts on that we could teach people on at school, at home, outside, and in the kitchen. Gave them 4 categories for that. And then we did a little bit from our science book about the sun, moon, and stars. Then we did our computer time, and then they went home. So I had a lot of grading to do this afternoon, emails to respond to, all of those things. But that was like our day in a nutshell. So tomorrow's Thursday. We got 2 more days this week. It's going well. We're doing all right. We're making it. So I'll check in tomorrow. Good morning. Today is Thursday. I'm very glad it's Thursday. I actually like Thursdays a lot, probably because it's the day before Friday. I got here early today because I needed to make a quick copy, and the front office copier was broken and the one in the media center was taken. So I will be making that copy during my planning instead, which is totally fine. All I needed to copy was my rotations checklist. Let me grab it so I can show you. My rotations checklist, I changed it a little bit this week because I added a fiction text or a nonfiction text. So I have fiction right here and then a nonfiction reading response. So I already copied one with 2 fiction, and then I decided I wanted to do a nonfiction. So I've got to go recopy that, but I'll just do it during their specials and it'll still be done in time, which will be fine. We're starting math, we're reviewing our facts, so we're gonna practice our counting by 4 song again. And then today we're working on counting, multiplying by 3s and by 6s. I have a finger up over here, you just can't see it. So that should be easy peasy, lemon squeezy for them. And then I think tomorrow I'll probably introduce the skip counting by 6s song for them. I think they can do skip counting by 3s. I think I need to do 6s. That would be like my bigger focus. But anyways, so that's all we're doing in math, and then they go to STEAM for a special area. In reading, we're like introducing the whole new shebang, which I need to go swap my essential question for reading to be Unit 2, Week 2. And so I'll go over that this afternoon and kind of show you what it looks like when I introduce a topic in reading. That's all I got. I'm gonna sit down and get some work done. All right, it is Friday. I'm in my classroom. I'm wearing my house shirt today for velour. It means bravery. I have my coffee to help me have some courage and some bravery today. And I'm gonna go over what I didn't go over yesterday with you guys. So, I left yesterday afternoon because I stayed late and did a lot of stuff, and now I'm ready to go over what we did. So I told you I would go over how I introduced like topics in language arts. So the first thing that we did was we went over an infographic in our textbooks about our essential question, which is how do living things in a habitat support one another? So we always go over like the infographic in the textbook, and then we do a listening comprehension. So this is like what it looks like in my book. It's just a big long passage, and honestly this one was kind of meh. It was kind of boring to read out loud, but we had a good discussion about it, so I kind of like put it on a chart. You can see the chart right there. And what I do is I take the text, I read it out loud to them, and then we talk about the text with a focus on whatever we're studying. So this week we're looking at informational text, specifically looking at text structure. Like, was the structure a descriptive informational text? Did it give something in a sequence? Was it cause and effect, problem, solution, compare, contrast? So that's what we're focusing on. Last week we did informational with main idea and key details. So this week we talked about the main idea and the details just to review, and then we focused on what was the structure. And that conversation actually went really well with my kiddos. Some of them said it was sequencing because it talked about the Aborigine people at the beginning and then how their life was different, like how their life changed over time as the water bridge to Australia was covered. Some people said it was cause and effect because the effect was the people had to change how they lived. The cause was because the water bridge was gone that cut them off from the rest of the lands. And then some people also said it was problem and solution for that reason. And then some students said it was description because it described instruments that they played, it described the stories they told, the boomerang that they invented. So it had a lot of description of a community of Aborigine people. So I thought that was really good. The only one we really didn't see was compare and contrast. But it was fun to hear their conversations. I let them talk with their table. I was like, which one of these do you think and why? And then it was fun to hear them like agree and disagree. And I wrote them all up there and like underlined the evidence. Like, you thought it was cause and effect because of this part of the story. And then I wrote down like description and underlined the description. So that was really good. After we do that, we jump into our new vocabulary words. That usually takes us a good bit of time. We jump into new vocabulary. I use vocabulary slides up on the board that I made. I'll pop a picture of one right here. And I use GIFs. So I just type the vocabulary words on a slide so it's nice and big, and I use a little GIF picture to go over it with them, and then we write the definitions down together in our vocabulary book on the second page where it says write the definition. And I like to do this, I think our curriculum has them doing this day 2, but I like to do it on day 1 just to like give them those words in isolation, and then today when we read the story for the first time, they're gonna be like, oh, that's the vocabulary word, and they kind of already have a little bit of knowledge of it, so we'll like circle the words while we read today. Then after that, we went over our word study, and I used the spelling word packet that I give them for independent work, but we look at the front and we really focus on AR and the OR, and so I had them circle all the ARs in the words like cardboard, darkness, alarm, and then we squiggly underlined all of the ORs like absorb and sword, etc. These are our challenge words, and then we talked about the 2 high frequency words. And it takes a long time on the first day to go over these things, but it's worth it. So like today we'll practice more word study, but not as long as we did like studying our spelling words, if that makes sense. Trying to think. Then I went over their rotations checklist and just showed them the nonfiction text, and we reviewed a little bit of their packet. Like I went through the pages, made sure there were no questions about what they were doing for their spelling work. Same with the vocabulary, made sure there were no questions about the vocabulary work. That way during their independent work time for the next 5 days, they can choose an activity that they'd like to work on. And then I did small groups and we just practiced writing some of these words because that's all I had in me was to practice the R-controlled vowels, but that's fine. So that was like English language arts in a nutshell. So today we're going to start with math. We've got our weekly quiz because we do warm-up problems every day to review skills, and so our quiz is always on Fridays, so we have that. And then we're gonna review our Count by Four song. Got the poster printed now, and I think I'm gonna hang them up on these cabinets that are right here. I have about 6 cabinets, and we'll probably do 6 skip counting songs or so, but I think I'm gonna grab some of my like page protectors and do the song, and then underneath do a blank one, because I saw somebody who does an anchor chart that's like the Hall of Fame. So I think I'm gonna put the song up top and then a little protective sleeve at the bottom that's blank, and when the kids, and hang them with command hooks, and when the kids want to, they can come and sing the song for me, and if they can sing it and do the hand motions without looking, they get to sign the Hall of Fame, the Skip Counting Hall of Fame, because they know the song for 4s. And then we're starting our 6s, and this is to, I think it's a Justin Bieber song. I don't even know the name of the song. I think, like, I know that the lyrics say like picture perfect, you don't need no filter. I don't know, I'm gonna have to look up the name of the song, but it's I can count by 6s for sure. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, and 42, 48, 54, 60, we're through. And that's it right there. So I was ready for that one. So we'll introduce the 6s songs, and then we'll like see what we can do in the lesson. I gotta go check and see like what the lesson is for today, because I have a feeling these will take, like the quiz will take a while and this will take a while. So we might like just do those 2 things and then do some 99 math as a fun activity to do on a Friday, since I worked their booties off yesterday in math and language arts. And then I think today's lesson is like the associative property or distributive property. So that might be better to start on a Monday and just do like fact review today. So we might do that. I'll just go look at my lessons and see. So that's all I got for this morning. I'm gonna stop talking your ear off and start my day. I probably won't pick it back up until like later this afternoon, just to let you know how the day went. Yay. Can you tell I'm sleepy? Like, Halloween week is hard. I'm so glad it's November. I'm so glad I have my coffee. I've been enjoying my peppermint mocha because it's the holidays, right? So, yep, that's it. That's it. All right, I just discovered that I'm not gonna be able to hang those today because I don't have any more of the small command hooks. I used them all right here. So I will have to buy some more of the small ones so I can hang things on that cabinet, but that's okay. We can introduce the Hall of Fame on Monday, no biggie.